Good morning, boys and girls, and happy Tuesday. Today we are going to continue in our units of study, and we are going to be learning how to be readers. So let's get started. We're going to start off with our morning song. So let me move myself up a little bit. Oh, and I went too far. Sorry, guys. It's time to read, it's time to read. Here we are, here we are. We're finding what to read now, sitting on our spots now, ready to read, ready to read. Good job. We will sing that every single time we have reading. So now we are on lesson 2. Yesterday we learned about what yesterday we learned that readers read the world. You read every single day. You walk out the door and you read signs. There's stop signs, there's there's stoplights, there's signs that are triangles, that are warning signs. All of those are reading, even if they're not words, they might be pictures. Pictures and words go together, just like my hands. So today, we are going to continue learning, and before you do our lesson, you should have read the Beetle Alphabet book. Now, once you've read this book or listened to this story, if you didn't laugh, you need to read it again because there are some silly things in there. There's some creepy things in there, but there's a lot of silly. So let's go to lesson 2. In lesson 2, we are going to learn about, or our focus is readers read books to learn about the world. So today's book, the Beetle Alphabet book, is learning about all different types of beetles. Literally, there is a beetle for every letter in the alphabet in here. So you are learning about the world as you read. So let's get started. So we're in our classroom. And remember, this is our story that we're reading today. And I need to move myself away from our chart. Move myself right here. So we have added a new little sticker to our wall. So we are readers. When we read, we can look, we can think, we can read, and we learn. That's why most of us read. You read, even when you're reading silly non-fiction or fiction books, you are learning different things. You might be learning things that are a little true, or maybe they're nursery rhymes that your parents learned and were taught by your grandparents and their parents or grandparents. So you're always learning while you read. So let's learn some more. All right. So, oh, sorry. Today we are learning about the parts of a book. So I have a cute little girl on here with her curly cues that it's a picture, it's not real, she's not a real girl, but she has a book in her lap and her book has different parts. So today we're going to learn about the parts of a book, because if I opened this book like this, what's wrong with it? All the pages are still in there. Or what if I opened it like this? What's wrong with the story? I need to know the parts of a book because otherwise I might get mixed up. So on here, we have all different things and a couple things that we won't use, like the call number, we don't need to know. The spine and the barcode, we really don't need to know right now. But you do need to know the front cover, the back cover, the title, and where the illustrator and the author are. Now, sometimes the illustrator and the author are one person. Sometimes there are two people, and sometimes there's lots of people. Like there's some stories, my favorite author is Eric Carle for children's books, and he likes to team up, so two people, with Bill Martin Jr. to write some stories. Like you might know Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. So Those are stories where there are two people that are doing the work, and sometimes there's more. But you need to know who they are, especially if you're looking for a certain book. You might not know the title of it, but you know that Eric Carle wrote the story. So you have to know where to find all the books that Eric Carle wrote. So the front cover of the book. Let's find that. On this story, this is the front cover, the beginning of the book. It tells about the story. It gives you some pictures, it gives you a title, it gives you an author and an illustrator. All of that is on the front cover of the book. So that makes this the back. The back of the book sometimes has things on it. So let me see. So this is our Three Billy Goats graph from yesterday. And that has a little bit of blurb right here and the title again and a couple more pictures. Sometimes it might just be a picture. So this is a story we'll read a different day. So back covers are important because they hold the book together, but they don't always have information. A lot of times the important information on a back cover is this, the barcode, which when you're shopping, you need that to pay for it. Or like if you were checking out a book, you might use that if you're at a library, those types of things, but we don't use them in our class. So let's move back to the front cover. The front cover is always on the title is always on the cover of the book. So on this book, our title is in this big circle, the Beetle Alphabet Book. It's in big letters, so you know that this is the title. Now, on here, the title is almost the same size as this. And right here, this is the author. So you have to pay attention to where your title is and what is the title. What about this one? See, this one's much easier because the title's way up here and it's bigger. And the author and illustrator is way down here and it's really tiny. But all covers are different. And not all covers have pictures. So when you get older, some more older kid books might not even have a picture on it. It might just have words. So every book is different, but the title is always on the cover, the front cover. Now on this story, the author and the illustrator are also on the cover, but it's really hard to know which one's which. So rule of thumb, or the rule that usually works, is the author's name is first. So on this cover, the author's name is Jerry Paletta, and his name is first. So that means the second name is the illustrator, which would be here. And the illustrator draws the pictures. The author writes the words. Now, if the author writes the words and draws the pictures, it's just one name. Sometimes two people write the words and one person draws the pictures. All books are different, but it's always the author's name is first. So I want you to look at a book you have, and if you don't have a book, maybe you can take a screenshot of a story you have, or one of the books that we've listened to. You have tons of books in the last 4 weeks of school. You've had stories that I've read to you. You have stories that Mrs. J's read to you. There's shape stories, there's color short stories, there's number stories, there's pumpkin stories, there was apple stories, fall stories, all different types of stories. Pick one And if you don't have a story at home, then draw me a picture of the cover of the story, and you can write the title, and you can write maybe where the author is. And if you can't write it all by yourself, guess what? You have an adult or an older brother or sister that can help you. So you make it work with what you have at home, but I want a picture or a recording of you showing me the cover of a book. Till tomorrow.